I'm going to talk today about whether or not you should have an internet marketing mentor, and actually it doesn't just apply to internet marketing, but we'll talk mainly about internet marketing because that's kind of my subject area. And if you want the really short answer, it's yes, you should have a mentor helping you to grow yourself and grow your business. It really is that simple, because unless you know everything, and I've never met anyone who actually does, I've met lots that claim, but unless you know everything, a mentor will help you big time usually, because they will help you think outside the box or just provide a fresh pair of eyes, and often that's all it needs. And if you've ever watched a TV show like, say, I don't know, Dragon's Den, and the entrepreneur is really, really fanatical about it, and the dragons are saying, don't spend another second on this idea because it's just absolute rubbish, you're just wasting your time and your money, and you're all screaming at the TV saying, yeah, they're right, they're right, they're right. But in your own business it's much more difficult to do that, because you're trying to be both the dragons and the person waiting for the investment, and you can't see both sides of it. It's just not possible unless you're mentally unstable or schizophrenic or something like that. You just won't be able to do it. So that's what the mentor's doing. They're being sometimes a sounding board. Usually they'll actually just ask fairly probing questions. So it may seem as though they're doing not very much and you're doing all the work, but that could be true. But without them, you wouldn't be doing any of that work. So that's kind of where they fit in. And there are mentors who suit almost any budget, ranging from a few dollars a month or a few pounds a month right the way through to, there's ones I'm well aware of, and they're still at the cheap end, where people have spent $20,000-$30,000 for a day for someone to give them advice and push them in the right direction. And there's doubtless people that I haven't heard of that have paid even more than that. So there's any budget, you should be able to find someone. You need to look, and you need to have an idea of your budget, because otherwise you might think, well, actually I'd like to pay that $20,000 a day, but I haven't got anything like that budget to do. So you need to be reasonably realistic, not totally. You can usually find, if you found something that was 220, even if your budget was 200, you'd probably be able to find the other 20 to stretch, or 250, whatever it happens to be. So have an idea of your budget, but treat it a bit as though you're buying a house or an apartment or a car or hi-fi or whatever, where they'll often treat that as a starting price rather than the end price. But give yourself an idea, and a range works quite well. And then you start the process of tracking them down. So read up on your mentor, read some of the stuff they've written under their own name that they'll admit to. If they've done videos, watch those. If they've done some cheaper products, maybe ones that are a few tens of dollars or whatever, or even a few hundreds, buy one or two of those. See whether you get on with the style, because that's important. If you find you'll have found that with teachers at school or whatever, you sometimes, no matter how interesting the subject, if the person delivering the subject is boring to you, and they may not be boring to everyone else, but to you, then you won't get on with it. So spend a bit of time, don't use it as an excuse to procrastinate and never make a decision, but definitely spend more than a sort of split second, like look at their face or whatever. Spend a bit of time on that. As I said, if they've got videos, do that, and also work out which way you learn, because we learn in one of three different ways. Some people are visual, some people are audio, which can work with videos. A lot of videos like this one even you could listen to rather than watch. And some people are gut instinct, kinesthetic is the posh term for it. But work out whether the person is using the phraseology that resonates with you, because again, if that jars, chances are you won't take the information as seriously and you won't act on it as well. But the key with all this is to basically find someone you meet, someone you may not have never have met them. You may be able to do all this over Skype, and in the world that we operate in, that's probably likely nowadays, or it could all be over the phone. Days of face-to-face meetings, for most of this you don't actually need it, although it can be beneficial. If you've got a local mastermind group you can find, fantastic, because then you'll have other people who actually really do know you and who know how to push all your buttons and make yourself do it, because you're the only person that can do this. But in terms of finding a mentor, seek and ye shall find is probably the best advice, and narrow it down, but don't spend ages. Give yourself a budget, give yourself a time limit. So it might be today, it might be this week, it might be this month, whatever that is. Don't make it much longer than the next 30 days because you need to do it. And you can always revisit the decision. You can think about it in a month's time or 3 months' time and decide, is that someone I'm going to get on with long term, or was that a nice stepping stone, or was it a learning experience and one I don't particularly want to repeat? Hopefully it'll be one of the first two, a stepping stone or the start of a long-term relationship that helps you grow yourself and helps you grow your business in internet marketing or anything else. And there's a link below this video. If you think that I might be able to help, there's a longer article on it at the link below this video, and I'd be delighted to help if you think we can work together. In which case, give me a shout.